Okay, most of the characters that we see here, let me check something before I'm sorry. Most of the characters that we see here are from Will and Bill's folk characters. And one of the characters that I really like and we're going to do is he has one here. In fact, he's on the front of this thing. He's a guy, old-timey guy, taking pictures out of a camera. And if we remember years and years ago, they would take of course, this was way before cell phones and cameras. I remember as a young man, having a camera was something special. And now everybody's cell phone takes pictures. But oftentimes when we were little, my mother would take us down and we would get family portraits or things like that. And this is sort of reminds me of the days of that. Now, the actual figure is like this. And it says "say cheese" is the thing for it. And here's a picture of it. It's the guy taking a picture. His head is underneath the blanket, or not the blanket, for the curtain for the camera, and then you do the camera. Now, this particular piece is in pieces also, and the little box down here, you make that later, but you cut this area out here. The arms are not part of they are carved separate from the body. They're both together, and it shows here the top of the front of the camera is here. This front of the piece fits into this area. So this piece right here is all cut out, where the camera is, the sheet is over him, or the curtain is over him, and everything like that. So you're going to carve this piece here, the arms and the front of the camera, and then you're going to build a little stand for the camera itself, in other words, and of course the box that he stands on. And you don't but this is a lot of carving here. This really is. It's not a very difficult project, but one good thing about it is you don't have to carve any face or anything like that. All it has is just the body. But you have to be very careful in this area to make sure that your hands will be stuck out the way they have to be. Okay, now I went in and I cut this piece here out. Okay, and that's the first thing we're going to carve. Then we'll carve the front of the camera, and then the last thing we'll do is carve the hands. And this is a little, what this was right here is a little y'all excuse the weather. The sun comes over and then the clouds come over, so excuse the situation here. The front of the camera will be cut and done, and then you're going to carve the hands. And what this is the little, if y'all remember, he used to squeeze a little button and it would click the camera, in other words. And then they also have this thing here, which is the flash. This is the old-timey way that they used to. Remember, the guy would hold up the flash, and whenever they would take the picture, it would, puff. The flash would blow. So this is a very unique little carving, and I think it's cute as can be. So we're going to do this. We're going to do this carving. I'm going to show you one thing about Bill Higginbotham. Even though his style is not my style of carving, he had some of the cutest figures that he did and created in his book. And it's called Will and Bill's Folk Characters. And he's got some really cute characters in his book, showing you how to do them. Now, as I said, the very first piece that we're going to cut out is this piece here, in which I did. This piece that, now, the original carving shows that it's cut out of a 3-inch piece of basswood, this part here. And I didn't have a 3-inch piece of basswood, so I simply took it to a copy machine and reduced it down to 2 inches. Excuse me, reduced it 75%. To 75%, excuse me. And so I have reduced this piece where I can use a 2-inch piece, which I had. Okay, now let me get my knife and my now we're going to go through this piece here, and we're going to show you how to carve it. Now, of course, this is the curtain that goes over his body, and then here is where the hands go, in this area right in here. So we want to keep this area, if we can, as flat as we possibly can, and not carve a lot on that. And then we turn it around over here, and here the legs come there, and we do the same here. We're just gonna kind of draw that in there. It's gonna be sort of like up in, this comes up and over down to that right there. So this comes up and over to the back of the piece like this. Okay, we're just gonna cut that out. We're not going to cut it out, but we're going to carve it where this will be further at. So the first thing, what we want to do in this piece is to, as we look at the feet, we're going to have to cut this part away because the leg comes back. If you see, the leg itself will come back to this area, and this leg will be front. So we're going to have to cut off, and this is about middle ways. You measure middle ways. This is a 2-inch piece, so that's about 1 inch. You're going to cut, this is going to be forward, and this will be cut out right here, because this will be back here, and this will be cut out right here. You're going to cut this out so this leg will come forward, and cut this out so this leg will come back. So let's go ahead and do that to get the general We're outside, folks, so we got an ambulance running somewhere or something. I don't know what's going on. This area, there's always something going on. A lot of you have asked me the condition of what my status is on my house and stuff, and I'm going to tell you now. All right, we're cutting the leg back so that this will come forward. As you know, I have lost all my house and everything in Harvey, and my status is still, my lawyer is working on the insurance company suit. Most of you know that I had to sue my insurance company. They did not give me enough money to even fix my house. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people let's see. I'll show you this. Okay. A lot of people have had to do that. I have had to do it. And I'm still in the process of doing this. So, no, I am not back in my house, and I haven't even started on my house. Because I don't want to start on a home if I do decide to stay, not move to Kentucky. I don't want to start on a home and then not have enough money to finish it. Because I don't know what's coming of this lawsuit. Okay, we're going to continue to take this wood out. So right now it's just sort of a toss-up. My lawyer feels we have a good case against Allstate, but I don't have. I don't. Until it's over, folks. You don't know what's going to happen. As I have told a lot of you, I have a 2,000 square foot house, a 5-bedroom house, and I lost everything in my house, and Allstate wanted to give me $52,000, and that's just absolutely absurd. My bid for my house came to almost $100,000 and a little bit more, and I don't like to sue. This is my first lawsuit I have ever brought against anyone. But it's the principle of the thing now. Allstate just didn't want to work with me at all. So I'm not happy with Allstate. All right. As you can see now, if you look there, I'm taking the wood away from here. All right, now it's about halfway, so I'm going to stop. I'll probably have to take some more off because the foot is still too, but we'll just go halfway. Now, the next thing I want to do is to take this part off. As you see, in the shoe will be down like this, and there will be space in between the the pants and all that stuff as we do. But this will have to be taken off here to come forward with the leg. So we're going to do that now. We're going to take this part off. Yeah, this is my first. I have never sued anyone, but I had to sue Allstate. They just would not work with me, and it's been. Everybody knows it's been a year. I have not lived in. My house is unlivable, and I'm living in my mother's house, and I just feel that Allstate has not treated me right in this, and unfortunately, there are a lot of insurance companies that have done this to people down here, and I did have flood insurance. A lot of people did not, but I did have flood insurance, and I've been paying many years on it, and fortunately, I hate to say this and I don't like to complain, but insurance companies just seem to be, they want you to pay premiums, but they don't want to pay when it's, when it comes up. So let's not fool ourselves about being in good hands with Allstate. Allstate is just like any other insurance company. They don't want to pay. Okay. So we're beginning to cut this right in here. And this is not a time to talk about how bad Allstate is. This is just to warn people that just because you have an insurance does not mean that these people are going to treat you right. It's just not. We think they will, and we hope they will, and we ask God that they will. But unfortunately, in this world today, there are people and companies that they want your money, but they don't want to pay up when it's their time. So someone told me, and I agree with them, if my house would have burned down, then I probably would have gotten whatever I wanted for the house, or gotten the full value. But whenever the thing about flood insurance, folks, and let me say this to you now. Okay, we're getting there on, they can pick flood insurance to pieces. They can say, oh, well, this doesn't happen, that doesn't happen. Where if a house burns down, usually they can't say anything. And we've had a lot of hurricanes and stuff like that, and I imagine the people in South Carolina right now are having to deal with the same thing. And you really assume and think that your insurance company is going to take care of you. You really do. I did. Until you deal with them. And then you find out they're not the most trustworthy people in the world. But it's a business. It's a business, folks. And they, like any other business, they're there to make money, not pay you anything. Okay. All right, we have got this down now. Now we just gradually begin to take it over and take it over. Okay. Now, what we want to do is we want to come up here where the curtain that goes over him, and we want to just go ahead and we want to just kind of make that sort of fold over a little bit. We're just kind of getting our boundary set. And we want to go ahead and cut this right here. This is going to come down and go like this, okay? And we're going to have to take off in here this portion like this, okay? Because this is going to fit over him, all right? This is going to fit over him. So we're going to, okay? So that's what we're doing. We're bringing down this area here. So we have to cut into this. It doesn't matter. We just have to, we're not going to be able to leave that just flat like that, because we do have to cut into that area to bring this piece down, so that the curtain will seem like it's fitting over him. Okay. Okay. So, and we can. And all this, let's see. Okay. Where the curtain comes over him, we're going to draw a line across here. And that's going to happen the same way. The curtain fits over him just like this, okay? So that comes up like that, and then this comes right here. So we're gonna do the same thing over here, basically. We're gonna take this out of here. I didn't mean to, so many people had asked, I didn't mean to get into a long discussion about insurance companies. I really didn't. But I think it's something that we all need to understand and know, that sometimes it's sad. I would have just been glad to everything to go just right, and then we have to also come over here, and we have to come in here. Before we bring this down, before we bring too much of because we're gonna, of course, the back end of his bring the back end of his behind down, just like that, see? Because it's going to go up underneath there. Oops. Didn't mean to cut that. It's no problem. It's a little hard back in there. Yeah, it's just that it's real, folks. This is, unfortunately, this is the real world we live in. And insurance companies they're not there to pay out claims. They're there to make money. And if they have to do some things to not pay out, then they will. If you went through Harvey and your insurance company treated you right, then God bless you, for sure. Because I'm glad that happened. I just wasn't one of them. Okay. All right, now, let's look at our piece. And let's look at what we have here.